Hello there, guys, and welcome to Daily Updates. A 47-year-old man has been sentenced to 15 years in prison by the Pretoria High Court after he pleaded guilty to 33 counts, which include fraud, corruption, theft, money laundering, and racketeering. The issue involves the VBS, and that man's name is Chifiwa Matodzi. Well, we have known about this issue of Chifiwa for a long time, but what's really interesting at the moment is not because he got arrested, he got sentenced. It is because the affidavit that he wrote has been leaked. The story of the leaked affidavit has been at the top of the headlines, not because it got leaked, but because in that leak, it mentions the name of Julius Malema, Floyd Shivambu, and Brian Shivambu, the brother of Floyd Shivambu. Mr. Matodzi mentions that he met with Julius Malema, Floyd Shivambu, and Marshall Dlamini. This was at the period when EFF was starting to make noise about Jacob Zuma and the VBS money. So he says they met, they sat down, he was the only person, and from the EFF it was Julius, Floyd, and Marshall. Chifiwa's affidavit also mentions big names like the former head of Treasury, Dondo Mogajane. In that affidavit, they allege that Dondo received 1 million rand from VBS. And in that affidavit, there is also a big name called Zweli Mkhize. He's also mentioned in the corruption of VBS. Before we look at Julius Malema's response, please have a look at the parts where EFF is mentioned in that affidavit. After the public noise about the leaked affidavit, Julius Malema had a rather short response to this news by saying, "For any inquiries, please refer to the archives for answers." By archives, he means that there was an interview where Julius invited journalists who were going to ask him questions about VBS. And we know how that ended, because none of those journalists ended up pinning him down.
Surely you can't say you were not interested or not bothered on that 50 million rands contract because it impacted on your financial and economic upward mobility in life, because surely as a shareholder of On Point Engineers through Ratanang, you would get some sort of proceeds from the profits that would be generated on that contract.
It's a common cause. It's undisputed. So why do you want to canvass the grounds that are not disputed? I'm a shareholder in On Point. I got money in On Point. Madonsela makes that point. So the matter of whether On Point got a tender rightfully or wrongly is now before court. All I'm saying is you cannot have a tender of 50 million, collapse a province of a budget of 47 billion. So the intention has always been to smear me, to delegitimize me, so that I do not add my voice in the anti-corruption project of the country. So Castle was the premier, Pinky was the MEC, Masondo was the MEC. All these people who presided over that government are today ministers or deputy ministers in the clean government. The dark cloud of having collapsed the government of Limpopo remains with me, who has never been in government. But where, Samkel, maybe you'll teach me, where have you ever been, where have you ever seen a situation rather, where the corrupt get charged, but there is no the corruptee? No one is charged from government, the collapsed government of Limpopo. The person who has enabled that corruption in Limpopo. In the indictment on Point, nowhere do they say Malema bribed this one or that one in order to get the tender. So if I influenced the tender, since I was not in government, who did I influence? And what was the power of this person, and why is this person not charged if the matter is legitimate and want to resolve the problem of corruption. That is with regard to On Point in Limpopo.
The next piece of information you're about to see is the role of Chifiwa Matozi in the corruption of VBS.